Ship watching is such a huge part of Lake County, and today we're going to get a first-hand look at the James R. Barker. Let's go.
So this boat was made in 1977. We're 1,004 feet long, we're 105 feet wide, and we're 50 feet from the top edge of the deck down to the bottom of the ship. Our typical cruise size is 23. So we go to Indiana Harbor, Burns Harbor, Toledo, Cleveland. Occasionally we'll haul coal to St. Clair and Monroe.
And you're going constantly.
We never stop.
Never stop.
No, we never stop. So when it comes time to start loading, they'll take all of these shuttles and they'll fold down. And then when they're locked in place, this roller that you see here will extend out into that track, and then they'll start loading.
And what's he watching for?
He's watching to see where the pellets are falling, to make sure that they're lined up right. He's watching the load lights right now to make sure that we're maintaining an even keel. He's watching the cargo to make sure it's evenly distributed. He's also watching our draft gauges to make sure that we don't get too deep on one end or the other, and that the ship isn't developing either what we call a hog, where it's higher in the middle, or a sag, where it's lower in the middle. I tell my new mates that show up on the boat that loading and unloading these things is like trying to take a piece of cooked spaghetti and putting $1 worth of dimes on it and holding it straight. So there's a real choreographed sequence that we need to go to keep the boat within our stress parameters.
So this is the belly of the beast here.
As we're on the bottom of the ship right now, Brian. So this is what we call the unloading tunnel. What we have happening here is there's a belt that's bringing the majority of our cargo forward, and it's dumping into this, which we call the hopper. And there's also two other belts on either side of us here, and they're also dumping into this hopper. And then once they dump it to this, it drops onto the belt that you see here behind you, and that belt's the one that takes it all the way up to the top of the ship and drops it on our conveyor boom to go over the side of the ship.
Wow.
We're capable of unloading at around 10,000 tons per hour.
And enough iron ore in here to make 100,000 cars.
About 100,000 cars.
Wow.
Got to keep America moving.
Keep America moving.
The majority of my crew right now is engaged in this activity. The one exception being the engineers. This is kind of their time to do maintenance items on machinery that might not be running right now compared to when we're out at sea.
Okay.
So once we leave this place and we get out into the lake, then we go into what is our maintenance mode. So that's when we get our painting done and our chipping and our greasing and those types of maintenance items that we can't do when we're at a dock.
I guess if you have off time, you get to just hang and kind of...
Oh, absolutely. The guys work their day and they're free to do whatever they want.
Okay.
This actually kind of doubles as a yoga studio in the summer. We play basketball up here occasionally. You'll see a lot of guys out walking the deck. So yeah, I walk out here every chance I get. It takes me an hour to walk 5 miles. So Brian, this is our ship's anchor here. We have 3 on board, and these are all poised and ready to drop in an emergency. The anchor that's on that side of the ship is actually controlled to a remote control device up in the pilot house that I can drop with the push of a button. Where I'm standing right here, this is where we control the ship's engines from. These are the sticks. We have 2 propellers. One stick controls one side, one stick controls the other.
How big are those propellers?
So our propellers are about 18 feet in diameter.
Wow.
They're very large. This is the ship's wheel. This is our steering station. This is where we would have a able seaman stand, and so he would actually turn here and watch his rudder angle indicators. This little clock-like device, that actually tells you if the ship is turning. So there's times that this will pick it up before even your eye can, and it'll tell you not only that it's turning, but it'll tell you how fast it's turning.
Did you ever get a wheelsman that comes in with his own, chain steering wheel and pops it on there like, hey, low rider?
It's not customizable, though.
Okay, all right.
No.
You got to use this. Okay.
But you do get people that do sailor art. I mean, there's so much time on the ships that you get guys that customize stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily the wheel, but, they'll do things. Some of the doors you'll find decorations, and I have probably 3 or 4 pretty gifted artists on board.
So what's life like on a ship like this?
We all have our jobs that we have to take care of, but In our off time, we all enjoy different pursuits. We all have our hobbies. Just like any other job, we laugh, we joke, we cry together. Communications are so much better. We can talk to our families.
What's it like to pull into a place like in Lake County?
You aren't going to find any prettier spots than like Silver Bay or, Two Harbors. And you dock there and you're just in the middle of pristine wilderness. It's just absolutely beautiful. And so on the scenery standpoint, it's just so nice to be able to see that. And then it's also a good opportunity for my guys to get uptown. They're both small communities and they're well versed to the sailors. And we feel very welcome there.
Ship watching is just one of the many fun things you can do up in Lake County. Come on up! Lake County, USA, nature's rhythm, center stage.